Hey, my name's Tulsa from the Property Look, and I've studied Grae's project Enclave, and I want to share with you what 80 million in off-plan sales can teach every developer. So before I start this video, I just want to say that even though I have a property marketing agency and I help developers sell property online, this project wasn't done by my agency. This is just a project that I admire, I want to learn from, and then share those insights with you. So let's jump into it. First of all, who's Grae and why do they even matter? Gaia is led by two brothers, Rob and Andrew. They started their careers as a tradie and an estimator, so both in the property space, but very different things to what they do now. They together have built Gaia into Australia's number one developer. They work in the luxury home space and have high profile buyers. You can see content from them all over YouTube with different influencers. They focus on contemporary designs, and their developments are extremely recognizable. And yeah, like I mentioned, then were voted number one developer in Australia. In their pipeline, they have $1 billion worth of property coming up. So, they're movers and groovers, and there's more big things to come from Graeya. So after studying their project Enclave, which is the tallest building that they've done today, the penthouse is over 3 stories and is going to break local records. It's going to be worth 25 million. And a full floor residence, which I believe is about half of the building. Each residence starts at 6.2 million. Quite a nice project. So our learnings from Graeya, how they locked in on their specific target audience, how they turned the building into a brand, and how they created the members circle to play the long game with their core customers. Lesson number 1, they really focused on their target audience and even really nailed down, ultra focused on them. The key insight here is that Enclave is not for everyone. Graeya leaned into exclusivity in every aspect of the project. If you watch the mood film, which you can find on YouTube here, what they did was they nailed down on the target audience, creating a sense of exclusivity and power in everything that they did, from the music to the visuals to the people in the video. Everything was very exclusive, alluring, and a little bit mysterious, making it feel like it was this club that you kind of knew about, you heard rumors about, but you weren't really sure. So it really gave this kind of alluring vibe. The amenities, for example, the amenities are really only for the affluent people that have the time, that have the means to be able to use these types of amenities. For example, there's a mineral pool, there's a cold plunge, hot plunge. It's like a day spa in there. And this is not just your typical small little gym and a few little like pools, but this is for people who obviously have elevated out of that 9 to 5 day-to-day grind and are now able to focus more on their well-being and use these luxury amenities. The branding of Enclave is even just in the name itself. As you can see, it means whose inhabitants are culturally or ethnically distinct. So you can see that they're trying to say that Enclave and this project is not just for everyone. There's another thing that they've done here to really nail down on their audience and shows that they really understood their audience. They used the word trophy asset, and they really have made a trophy asset here with the penthouse. It's a 3-story penthouse worth 25 million, like I mentioned before, and that's going to shatter the records in the area where it's being sold. So I think in this price class, people really want that status of having the most expensive property in the area. So I think as a trophy asset, they've understood that, and what people in this audience really want is that trophy asset. Why it works is because every touch point, from the design to the amenities and the marketing, reinforce the same message over and over and over again, that this is not just for everyone. This is for a specific type of person, and they've really communicated with them very precisely. The key takeaway is the tighter your focus, the more magnetic your brand becomes to the right people. You don't want to speak to everyone. You want to nail down and speak to one person clearly. The next lesson we have here is branding, basically, when the property becomes a brand. The key insight is that brand first development is in every element, and it reinforces a recognizable visual identity. Here you can see, starting in the logo, they have this curved logo here, and this curve repeats itself over and over and over again, not only in the branding, but also in the building. You can also see the use of the green color here in the print material, in social media assets, also in email marketing assets. It continuously repeats itself. They've used the curves here, which you'll see in a second, in the font. These curves you'll see again in the building itself, and in the renders, obviously. So this is the top of the building here. I'll show you the full building. Maybe it works. Yeah, a little sneak peek, a little off script. So this is the full building here, absolutely beautiful. As you can see, it has these curves. And these curves, what I find really interesting is that they repeat everywhere in the building. This image in particular was used on the landing page for the website. And you can see these curved details here at the very front of the building. Again, in the bathrooms, they've used it here on the kitchen island. Like, this is something I really like because I don't know how much extra it costs to do the details like this, but they've really prioritized it. And I respect that a lot because it really shows how much they care about the small details. Yeah, it also shows how they know how important brand is. They know that, yes, this is going to cost a lot more to do, but it's important. When they use details like this over and over and over again, it becomes recognizable. And that's when it starts to become a brand that people know and recognize and potentially love. Again, here with the stools, you can see how they have the curved element. And it just repeats itself everywhere in the building, here with the top of the balconies, and then with the cutout of the ceiling here, also with the same curve, mimicking the logo as well. So really, everywhere you look in this project, you can see this curved element over and over and over again. And it works because it builds a strong brand, and a brand is something that people can trust. For example, a clothing brand, all of the clothes, they're going to get made in the same factory, but you pay a lot more for a certain brand than you will a no-name brand. So that's kind of the theory there. And in real estate, this makes your project more desirable and holds the value in the long term. And the key takeaway is you should build a brand, not just a building. It's the fastest way to create long-lasting value and stand out in a crowded market. Then we'll go on to our third and final lesson quickly. It's the Greyer Circle members. So Greyer have created their own audience and they pay $0 in advertising to reach them. This particular audience, they actually activated to sell 80 million worth of property before the project even launched to the public. So you can see how valuable this lesson is. So basically what they did was a mailing list. They created a simple mailing list. It's nothing crazy, but what they did do is they understood the value of the relationship between them and their customer, using CRM, using lead nurturing, follow-ups, just constant communication, just always talking with their customer and people who are interested in the brand. Again, the way that they've branded it here as the circle and being a member of the circle, this creates a sense of limited access and scarcity, which then also drives demand. The perks of being in the inner circle, access to properties before they hit the mainstream market. You also can be invited to launch events and have the opportunity to invest before the general public. I actually signed up for the inner circle and I got let in. So maybe it's not as exclusive as what they say it is, but I'll give you an update to see how they contact me and what the emails look like and let you know inside information I get there. And here's why the inner circle works. Most developers are chasing attention. Greyer already has it. Their audience trusts them, buys early, and sticks around. That's a moat money can't buy. And everyone in marketing knows that attention is the asset that you absolutely need to get anything else done. And the key takeaway is that building a list is the oldest trick in the book, really. There's nothing crazy, nothing new about it. It's slow to build and it's super easy to overlook. But when you do it right, it can become your biggest asset. Now, to quickly summarize the lessons that we learned in the video so far. Number one, take the time to understand your buyer, then tailor the project, the branding, and the marketing material directly to them. So take the time, understand who they are, and communicate straight to them. And the second lesson, create a brand that people want to own and be a part of. It will drive value now and long into the future. Then don't overlook the simple things. Building a list of customers can help sell projects before they even get to market. As you saw with Greyer, that's how they sold 80 million worth of property before launch day. So thanks so much for your time. You can click on this link here. This will take you to our little lead magnet where we can do an interior render for free of your project. You can jump on the phone, let me know what you want to do. You can send me an email. We'll have a look at everything and we'll show you our taste and our quality by delivering one free render. If you also want to learn more about what we do at The Property Look and you want to get a bit of a price guide and understand how much things cost, you can click on this one here and that will take you to a link where you can input your email and then we will send you the price guide straight away to your email. So again, thanks so much for your time. I hope you enjoyed the video, maybe learned something, and see you next time.